Welcome, friends, to a journey into one of the most powerful and mysterious verses of the Qur'an, Ayatu'l-Kursi. Known as the greatest verse, it is recited for protection, blessings, and divine nearness. But hidden within its words is far more than most imagine. A cosmic map of reality, where the universal intellect, the universal soul, and the supreme name of God converge. In the Ismaili tradition, this verse is not just something we recite, it is a blueprint of awakening, a guide to recognizing the Imam of the time as the living embodiment of divine light. Today we will open the veil of this verse and step into its inner world where words become truths and truths become life itself. Okay, so let's dive right in. Ayatu'l-Kursi. I mean, for so many of us, it's such a familiar verse, isn't it? Very comforting, something you recite maybe for safety or just to feel that connection.
Exactly. It holds immense spiritual power, known as the most majestic verse in the Qur'an. That protective aspect is very well known and cherished.
Right. But you mentioned something deeper, a cosmic map, a blueprint of awakening. That sounds like we're going way beyond just protection. What's the real mission here for this deep dive?
Well, that's the fascinating part. While the protection is real and important, the ta'wil, the inner symbolic meaning in the Ismaili perspective, it transforms the verse entirely. It stops being just a recitation and becomes, well, a guide.
A guide to what?
A guide to spiritual resurrection, essentially, and to recognizing something truly extraordinary. It's really about an intellectual awakening, seeing this verse as a path to recognizing the Imam of the time.
As the living name of Allah.
As the living, knowing, and speaking name of Allah. Yes. It points to a profound metaphysical truth embedded right there in the text.
Okay, this is where things get really interesting for me. The verse mentions Allah's throne, the Arsh, and the pedestal, the Kursi. Now, honestly, my mind immediately goes to, well, images. Like a huge chair in the sky, right?
Right, that's a common visualization. But it's absolutely crucial to understand these aren't physical things, not cosmic furniture.
Not furniture. Okay, so what are they in this understanding?
They're symbols, representations of divine hierarchies within creation itself. Think about the verse itself. Qur'an 2.255 says Allah's Kursi encompasses the heavens and the earth.
Encompasses everything.
Exactly. That right there tells you we're talking about something all-encompassing, metaphysical, not like a limited physical seat.
So metaphysically, what do they represent?
Esoterically, the Kursi, the pedestal, represents the universal soul.
The universal soul.
Yes, the animating spiritual energy of the entire universe. Kind of like its lifeblood, the sustaining force.
Okay. And the Arsh, the throne.
That's the universal intellect, the divine wisdom, the cosmic logos, you could say. It's the ultimate blueprint, the governing principle behind all existence.
Wow. So it's like layers of reality.
Sort of, yeah. Imagine a spiritual architecture. At the bottom, you have the universal body. That's the physical cosmos we see.
Right.
Resting on that, sustaining it, is the universal soul, the Kursi.
The lifeblood.
Exactly. And above it all, guiding it, originating it, is the universal intellect, the Arsh.
The blueprint.
Precisely. So you see, it's a spiritual infrastructure. It's the fundamental way reality is structured. Definitely not a cosmic seating arrangement.
That completely changes how you read the verse. So Prophet Muhammad called it the greatest verse. What makes it the greatest? Is it this structure? Is it something else?
Well, connecting this all together, the greatness is fundamentally in its essence. It's not just the structure, but what's in that structure. The verse contains the supreme name of God.
The supreme name.
Yes, the key to divine mysteries. And specifically, it highlights two primary names, Al-Hayy, which means the ever-living,
Okay.
and Al-Qayyum, the self-subsisting.
The self-subsisting. Meaning it doesn't depend on anything else.
Exactly. It stands alone, eternally. And crucially, these aren't just descriptions, like adjectives. They are, well, ontological realities, living aspects of existence itself.
Like the fabric of reality.
Kind of like the DNA of reality, yes. A core living truth. And here's the connection. In the Ismaili tradition, the Imam of the time is the living embodiment of Al-Hayy and Al-Qayyum.
He embodies those names.
He is their living reality. So when the verse says his Kursi encompasses the heavens and the earth, it's not just poetic language about vastness.
It's telling us.
It's revealing that the universal soul represented by the Kursi is the very foundation, the spiritual substratum of everything that exists. It's where everything gets its being.
You mentioned the supreme name. I've heard about this. The idea of 99 known names of Allah, but a hidden 100th one, the Ism-e Azam. Is that just like a secret word? Or is it more?
That's a really important question. Yes, traditions do speak of 99 known names, and this hidden 100th, the Ism-e Azam. But the key thing is, it's not just a word. It's not a verbal sound you make.
It's not.
No. It's understood as a living reality, a musama. That means the actual being or reality to which the name refers, not just the name itself. Imam Jafar al-Sadiq is reported to have said, Allah has concealed one. Name the Ism-e Azam.
The musama. Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about the word tree, T-R-E. That word isn't an actual tree, right? It just points to one.
Right, it's a symbol.
Exactly. It's the same with divine names. If you don't recognize the musama, the living reality the name points to, then the name itself is just sound. It's lifeless without the reality it represents.
So the Ism-e Azam isn't a word, but a reality. And that reality is.
In the Ismaili understanding, the musama of the supreme name, the Ism-e Azam, is the Imam of the time.
He is the supreme name embodied.
He is the supreme name embodied, the living reality that gives that ultimate name its meaning and its power.
Okay, that connects a lot of dots. It brings us back to what Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah said, we live, move, and have our being in God. That always sounded profound, maybe poetic, but you're saying it's more literal.
Oh, it's entirely literal from this perspective. It's describing our ontological immersion in the universal soul. We are swimming in that spiritual ocean.
The Kursi.
The Kursi, yes. It's the very essence, the fabric we exist within. And remember, the Arsh, the Universal Intellect. That's the commanding mind, the source of wisdom and order guiding it all.
Soul and intellect, Kursi and Arsh.
Together, they are the divine infrastructure. You've got the cosmos, the universal body, sustained by the universal soul, the Kursi, governed by the universal intellect, the Arsh.
And these aren't out there somewhere.
No, they're immanent. They're present right here, within and throughout everything. And crucially, the Imam embodies both.
Both the soul and the intellect.
Yes. Remember Imam Jafar al-Sadiq saying, we are the beautiful names of God. And Imam Muhammad al-Bakir saying, whatever is said of Allah is about us.
Mm-hmm.
It points to this embodiment. And the Qur'an itself, in 36.112, says, we have encompassed everything in the manifest Imam.
Encompassed everything.
Meaning the Imam is the repository. All knowledge, all soul, all being. He's described as the guarded tablet, the Lohe Mahfuz, where everything is recorded.
Okay.
And also the exalted pen representing the intellect that writes upon the tablet, the soul. Both pen and tablet, intellect and soul, are embodied in the Imam. He is the complete spiritual infrastructure alive here.
That's quite an image. The living infrastructure. Now, related to this constant presence, the verse says something striking. No slumber can seize him nor sleep. We usually take that to mean God is always aware, eternally vigilant.
And that is absolutely true, of course.
But in this esoteric reading, does it also tell us something about the Imam?
It does. It applies to the Imam as well. It means the Imam doesn't sleep like we do, losing consciousness entirely.
So what does he experience?
It's described as noaz, a kind of light rest, a state where awareness is never lost. Think of Prophet Muhammad saying, my eyes sleep, but my heart does not sleep.
The heart remains awake.
Yes. It signifies this continuous spiritual vigilance. The Imam has to sustain and guide creation constantly. He can't lose awareness of the spiritual pulse of existence, you know? He's always connected to those divine realities he embodies.
Always active, always aware.
It speaks to his unbroken connection and his constant role in the spiritual running of the universe.
This whole understanding is just vast. It really changes everything about the verse. So the big question then is, how do we, people listening, how do we take this incredible cosmic picture and actually live it? How does it become personal?
That's the crucial step, isn't it? Moving from understanding to practice.
Well, this deep knowledge transforms our daily actions, even familiar ones. For instance, think about when we enter Jamaskana, the prayer hall.
Okay.
We often recite, Hayyu Zinda, Qayyumu Payinda.
Ever living, everlasting.
Exactly. Allama Nasir al-Din Nasir Hunzai explains this, directly invokes those two supreme names, Al-Hay and Al-Qayyum. But more than that, it signifies their presence in life right here in this world.
Specifically referring to
the Imam of the time. So when you say those words, you're not just making sounds. You're actively invoking the universal soul and intellect. You're acknowledging the living Imam. You're connecting with the living embodiment of Ayatu'l-Kursi itself.
So that simple phrase becomes an application of this whole esoteric understanding. It's the daily application, yes, turning recitation into a living, conscious experience. And this connects to the bigger picture in Ismaili cosmology, too. The idea of 7 major cycles of time, each ending with a spiritual unveiling, a qiyamah.
Right, the cycles.
The 49th Imam, And notice the number, 7 times 7 represents a profound completion, an esoteric culmination of these ages. The understanding is that we are now living in the age of personal resurrection.
Personal resurrection. What does that mean practically?
It means each individual soul is called to awaken, to recognize the supreme name, the living Musama. In this era, the Imam's role isn't meant to be hidden in the same way. The veil, spiritually speaking, is lifted for those who genuinely seek and choose to see.
So the opportunity for recognition is more direct now.
That's the understanding. When this clicks, when you grasp these truths, it's not just intellectual, it transforms ancient texts into living realities for you. To truly know the Imam in this sense is to awaken spiritually. It's the start of your personal resurrection happening right now while you're alive.
Wow. This entire journey has shifted Ayatu'l-Kursi from, yes, a powerful verse for protection, which it still is.
Absolutely.
But into this incredibly detailed cosmic blueprint. We've mapped the Arsh to intellect, the Kursi to soul, and right at the center, the Imam as the Musama, the living embodiment of Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, the supreme name itself, the sustainer, the revealer.
It's profound, isn't it? Ayatu'l-Kursi isn't just a prayer you say for protection. It is a cosmic unveiling, a whole spiritual thesis packed into one verse.
Right.
Repeating it without grasping this inner meaning. It's like you have this amazing treasure map, but you never actually look at it closely enough to follow the path.
You just hold the paper.
Exactly. But once you pierce that veil, once you see the Kursi as soul, the Arsh as intellect, and the Imam as the living supreme name, then it just snaps into focus. The verse isn't just sacred sound anymore. It becomes your lived spiritual reality.
Lived reality.
The Imam does not sleep. The Imam does not forget. He is that ever-living pulse of the universe, sustaining every soul, guiding every intellect, touching every heart that searches for truth. And the final realization is, he's not out there.
We are within him.
We live and move and have our being within that universal soul he embodies. He's not just a name we recite. He is the light we are invited to become.
As we conclude today's journey through Ayatu'l-Kursi, let us remember, this verse is not merely to be recited, but to be lived. It is a mirror of the cosmos, a key to the hidden name, and a reminder that the Imam of the time is the ever-living pulse of creation, the light through which we breathe, think, and awaken. To recognize him is to step into resurrection while still alive, to see the Qur'an not as ink on pages, but as a radiant speaking reality. So carry this reflection in your heart. Let it reshape your prayer, your remembrance, and your vision of the world. And before we part, share this deep dive with your friends, family, and others in your circle, because sometimes one soul's awakening is all it takes to ignite a wave of transformation across generations. We'll be back soon with another powerful episode, diving deeper into the ocean of divine wisdom. Until then, stay anchored, stay awake, and may your soul always sail toward the light.